up, guys? And welcome back to the Life Dance Podcast. You know who I am, Miss Trey Culata. Thanks again for pressing play and joining me today. I know your time is precious. So the fact that you decide to spend a few minutes with me each week means a lot. And to be honest, I did not want to record today. I am tired. I spent the last few weeks of the year battling to get the sale of my Airbnb property across the finish line. And I mean, it was hell, but I did it. I made it happen. Whoop, whoop. And now we're ready to step into 2025 and manifest even bigger and better things. It is the first official podcast of, I was going to say apocalypse. Anyway, first official podcast of 2025. And while a lot of people are sitting around and talking about goals and their vision for the year, I want to make it super duper, uber duper simple for anybody and everybody that is listening right now. Because what I like to do, aside from just setting a goal, is create or think about just one word that will define my year. Because sometimes we get so caught up in achieving these goals that it can almost feel overwhelming. And that's why a lot of people quit after just the first few weeks of the year, because it's just too much and too many. So I like to kind of oversimplify. And yes, I do have goals that I'm setting for the year, we'll probably get into that in the next podcast. But for today, I just want to focus on word of the year. So last year, I honestly cannot remember what my word was. At the beginning of the year, all I know is that it changed to awakening, because I went through a very profound, is the best way to describe it, spiritual awakening over the course of last year. And I mean, so now, this year, my word is limitless, because at the end of the year last year, in Q4, I was able to manifest, if you listened to my last podcast, almost $40,000 in a matter of like 90 days. And it was literally just one big grand experiment. The source kept sending me a voice saying, you need to, instead of reading these business books and personal development books, you need to branch off and focus on your spirituality, which I did. And it led me down this path. And it led me down some pretty cool information about manifestation. So I started experimenting and putting these guidelines and things into practice. Number one was meditation. Excuse me, I'm tired. Bear with me. We'll get through it, guys, I promise. So anyway, a lot of meditation, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of connecting to source energy and increasing my frequency and the way that I'm able to communicate with the source. And through that practice, I was able to manifest some pretty cool shit. So now I'm like, okay, let's level it up in 2025. I want to see if I can manifest $250,000. And what's beautiful about that is that old Trey would have been like, there's no way, man. Like, you don't even have $25,000 in the bank. How are you going to manifest $250,000? And it's like, you know what? I don't fucking know. But I'm going to figure it out. And I don't even necessarily have to figure it out. That's the beauty of it. Because what I'm learning through the beauty of this process is that I don't have to know. The limiting belief is something that my lizard brain and my caveman brain is telling me in order to protect me from going into the unknown. And that hasn't really done me any favors. I've got literally nothing to lose. And it's scary to even declare something like that, because now, because I have you guys as my listeners, I'm going to be held accountable. You all are going to be on the edge of your seats like, did she do it? And so now I have to fucking do it. I got to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it does not matter. I am leaving the answers up to the universe to guide me as to how it's all going to happen. But if I sit down every day consistently and I meditate on it and I request, hey, I want this $250,000. I want to manifest this shit. It's going to happen. Mark my words, it's going to happen. So back to the whole topic of the podcast. What is your word? What is your word for the year? Mine is limitless. I am tired of putting limits on what I think I can do because I proved to myself last year that once I stopped doing that, beautiful opportunities present themselves. So for all I know, I could have a chance encounter in the coffee shop or meet somebody in the line at the grocery store, or somebody could hit me up online. You just never know when or where something like that is gonna happen. And I think, so yeah, last year's word was awakening. Another year it was transcend. I think I was talking to some of my friends at a New Year's gathering, a little party we had. And, we said maybe her word was going to be growth. But I think, just sit down and really just, reflect. Like, what is it? What is the one thing? If you can focus on just one thing that you want to get out of this year. And I know a lot of people are, saying, I want to thrive in 2025. Well, maybe thrive is your word. I don't know. But I think maybe instead of going with generalities, I would suggest being more specific to you and where you're at now. Did you do the exercise that I talked about in the Gap and the Gain, where you went through and listed out all the things that you accomplished over the course of the last 12 months, 3 years, so that you know where your starting point is? Because the thing with goals is, like, goals are necessary, but it kind of leaves out a little bit of that dreaming part of it, which is, me, the Aquarius in me, that like huge air sun sign that I am. I just want my head in the clouds all the time. And it's funny because I was having a conversation with my husband about my word of the year. And he's like, since when has my wife ever put limits on what she thought she could do? Is that what you think? He's like, I'm scared to see what happens now that you're not going to put limits on what you can do. It's so funny, perspective. But anyway, so that's going to do it for today, guys. Please hit me up. I want to know what your word of the year is going into 2025. I'm super, super, super curious. So hit me in the comments. And I guess, until next time, let's dance. I'll see you on the flip. Ciao.